Scorpio, welcome to your bonus in-depth reading that is yours and theirs. I hope you're well. I hope you're fabulous. Like always with yours and theirs, take what resonates, leave what does not, and reverse those energies as you see fit. More so with yours and theirs, as energy exchange and interchange is real, rapid, and fluid. Having said that, your person that I see on this board today, yes, might involve the energies of a significant other, spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, lover, ex of 5 years ago. I never know. But I would also ask you to include or make space for the realistic possibility of seeing other energies in life, such as work, family, spiritual stuff. Like I said, also common energies. So much so, sometimes they dominate the whole reading, which I know can be frustrating, but that ties back to the greater point. These are general collective readings, not one-to-one private, which is to say, they may not resonate at all. And I know that's frustrating, but it's also normal. If that happens, check your placements. You will find yourself in there somewhere. Okay. What's up? Show me, Scorpio. Show me, Scorpio, please. All right, starting with your side of the board, but as I just said, reverse those energies as you see fit, and you don't have to. Yes, I still get questions about that to this day, hence the intro. The Fool. 6 of Cups and the Ace of Swords. Oh, yeah. Over here. 4 of Wands. The 2 of Swords. The Ace of Cups. Yeah. I was wondering what your truth was. Between you two, the Lovers, the Hanged Man, and the World. Oh, honey, I'm sorry, but Page of Swords, I get that, and you're seeing that for yourself. It's a truth you're having to become acquainted with, and I am sorry it's so uncomfortable. Please know it takes two. Okay. Please know it takes two. The Page of Swords, and I know. Right now, and you went from a page to an ace, so I know you're making a lot of strides in this subject, as uncomfortable as it is. But you know, I have to tell you, Scorpio, honey, I've been saying for you, just this idea of something's coming back, and it's that strong connection, it's that strong soul bond, and I don't know. And while they are intriguing and they are worthy of looking at, it does get tiresome after a while when there seems to be no resolve or no change in the temperature, the collective temperature. And I'm glad you're closing this subject out. I am. I want people to know. I want people to be decided and confident in what they're experiencing, thinking, and feeling. This one's for the Scorpio who's opening up to the truth, not denying it, or still trying to accommodate the past. Okay, so just to get that off the table right now. So if this isn't you, then don't worry about it. This is for the Scorpio you like the truth at last. And it's not an easy one, no. No, not at all. Not at all. But I'm glad that you're arriving to it, and it's for you. It doesn't have to be you. Perhaps you're in the process of discovering something very different, but this is for the Scorpio I'm looking at today. Yeah, the Page of Swords, like I said, it's uncomfortable insight there. Started out as a small piece of knowledge, not much to work with. Okay, possibly keeping your eye on them or they on you. I don't really care. I'm seeing it as a small piece of knowledge that grew. Okay. And then the Fool, 6 of Cups, Ace of Swords. You have a lot of truth now about how you used to open up to the past. And at first it's like, oh, okay, opening up to the past, you're familiar with the subject. What does that mean to you? Was it worth it? Not worth it? Do you see yourself as a full positive or a full negative? Because the 6 of Cups is a precious thing, at least, you know, to whoever experiences it or sees it that way. From your point of view, this was a precious connection. And that's why at some point in your past, you got very familiar with opening up towards it and being the fool towards it and taking a chance on it, taking a risk on it, and just prompting it, making yourself available to it, starting the dialogue, acting on it too. Yeah, all that's in there. And again, did you see that as a good thing or not so good thing? Well, at the time, I'm sure you thought it was a good thing. You're keeping yourself open to that which feels right to you. And that was a soul bond. Okay? 6 of Cups, you have a lot of memories with this person. You might even say you two go way back. You have quite the history, as well as that unique connection, right? You've shared memories, you shared cups, you've shared war stories about life and what it's been like and stuff like that. And But yeah, I can see where you opened up to it over and over, and in the space of trying to keep yourself open towards it and remain open towards it, you had a hard truth, a strong insight. It didn't start out as much, but that's where it ended up. And you could have only have gotten there through keeping yourself open and available to this. So now there's no room for mystery either. Okay? So I just want to know how you're interpreting that fool of the past. Okay? Four of Wands, Two of Swords, Eight of Cups. This person lacks emotional conviction about your two's relationship. Okay? That's it. That's all I'm going to say about that. There's more, but we'll get there. That's the long story short. The Lovers, the Hanged Man, the World. You've thought about it. Whatever this connection is or isn't to you or them, you're saying it's done now. You've had lots of time to think about it. I see that. You grew from a page to an eighth. You did have lots of time to think about it. How you experienced it is how you experienced it. You know what it meant to you. And then there's the truth of reality of what you were working with. And at some point, those two had to meet. Okay? I've seen perfectly happy combinations of the Fool, Six of Cups, Ace of Swords. I'm happy I opened up to this. I'm happy I discovered my truth. I'm glad I exposed myself to this over and over again. Look at what I got. Yes. Yes. It requires a certain willingness to participate in order to understand. And you did. And now you understand. Okay? Once more, I'm not telling you what to do. Tarot Lady cannot tell you what to do. Check out the description box for the basic rules of tarot. So like always, tarot is the proof of choice, not the absence of it. You learned what you learned about this. And it's over. Its time is over. Okay? This one's over. The cycle of this one's over. Well, you kept yourself open towards it by choice, and you thought you were, at the time, you probably thought it was a good thing. Someone was never really there. They didn't allow themselves to be with Two of Swords. Okay? It's a relationship. Okay? But we'll get there. All right. Page of Swords. It's frustrating. I'm not surprised the past comes back around. There's a lot of unresolved business and those powerful connections that Scorpio, we insist on getting ourselves attached to. Eventually, because we're just intense like that, very passionate. That's part of our profile. You know, it's like it's just part of who we are. So am I surprised that I constantly see things like Judgment, Wheel, Fortune, Force about that very person? Yeah, it's because it's not done, it's not over. But whatever this is. It took a while, though. But yeah. I'm glad to see you're giving yourself peace over this particular subject, but you earned that peace. You learned the hard way, I think. Okay. Six of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups, and the Lovers. I know you had some very strong opinions on the subject, and if you didn't want to hear it at first, I know. I'm not trying to accuse you. It is what it is. There's the Lovers. Okay. You said, for my part, I love this for the strong connection it was, and I didn't think too much of it. I bounced with it in the story. I showed the fuck up for it over and over again. You had the Six of Pentacles, the Six of Cups, the Fool. You made your point of view very clear. Thank you for that. And it's that I put next to no thought in it. Page of Swords. I didn't question it. Like, that's how into this connection I was. Like, I showed up. When it was time to show up, I showed up. When I put myself into it, I balanced with it as best I could. But yes, it was love. It was love. I chose to express love to this. I put heart into this. I was vulnerable with this. I chose to express myself to it. And I didn't even think about it, Christina. Like, that's how strong your instinct towards this connection was. You didn't question it. Okay? But yeah, it's there not once, but twice. Like, you showed up hard for this one, even if it was on the surface. Like, it was super simple. Like, it was super simple balance, Six of Pentacles, which, again, you can have under any situation, under any circumstance, with anybody. The point is that you put something into it in order to get something back from it. It should more or less be equal, okay? Two people should benefit if it's more of an intimate connection in terms of what's being built. And I can see you threw your heart on that one. Okay. Damn, Page of Swords. You didn't think about it. You didn't even question it. Well, for a while. But then you had enough exposure over time, and that'll do it. That'll do it. That'll do it just for about anything. Enough exposure to any situation, place, circumstance, or person over time. The results of what's actually happening become a lot clearer. Like I said, it's either a good thing or not so good thing. Or as you understand it. I say it, I counter it with it's all experience, depending on what you learn from it. Okay. Let's see that Fool. Ten of Swords and the Fool. And it's at some point it started to hurt to be you. But you're like, I can take it. I can handle it. I'm the Emperor. I'm here by choice. I'm a fool by choice. Twice. Fool the Fool. At some point, the scale started to tip from I don't even put any thought into it. I don't even question it. I'm showing up. I love this. I love it hard. To this is starting to hurt. I'm going to keep doing it. Your conviction for this was very high, but you're also saying I was self-possessed. I know. And self-possession. Okay? You're saying this is what I can do, and I stand by your own particular conviction. You're saying I didn't do anything I didn't think I could handle, but yeah, it started to hurt. At some point, it started to hurt. Ten of Swords, the Fool. The Emperor, and you're like, you know what? That's how these things go. Strong connections. I'm going to continue to roll the dice on this one. You know? So at some point, it started to convert from full positive to full negative. You were being hurt by connecting to this and keeping yourself open to it specifically, spiritually otherwise. But it was spiritual and it was emotional. And there was some activity here for balances, yes. I don't know how often it was or how frequent it was, but you didn't hesitate. That I know. All right. Six of Cups. Three, and there it is, the curse. Three of Pentacles, the Sun, the World. Okay, I was going to say the curse of that special friendship. And it's not friendship, it is special, but it won't go beyond a certain character profile, which is Three of Pentacles, so friendship, partnership. But we go way back, though. We go way back. You go way back, so much so that you have more than enough evidence about how this is shaping up. And that's when at some point you stop playing the fool to this. The World, you closed it out. You're like, I don't want a strong friendship with you. I want to love you and you equally without a bunch of bullshit. You're not a friend. So physically, I see you doing the thing. Physically, cycling this out. At some point, you stop playing the fiddle to this, stop playing the fool to this. You stop being amused by it. But by that, I mean, I'm open to you. I'm just open to you. I'm just open to you. It stopped feeling good. The Six of Cups, three. This always feels like a death sentence when I see that. Now, some people legitimately just are friends, but they have a softer background towards each other. Like I said, Six Cups isn't necessarily an intimate partner, but you made it very clear. Okay. But like me just being really good friends with you is not going to cut the mustard. It hurts. The more you call me a friend, the more it stabs me in my art. Thanks for that. So it's cycling that out. That's when the World happened. Okay. Oh. And trying to remain open towards it at the same time. Where are we? Nine of Pentacles, you're saying it was still a choice, though. It was a choice, and you're right, it is a choice. That's part of those self-possessed. It was still a choice to show up to this and remain open towards it. Yes. Yes. But therefore, it was also a choice to close it out. That's an option as well. And you exercise that option. Yes. All right. People forget what's in those Seven of Cups. It's a variety of feelings, including that which suggests I'm hurt and dissatisfied. Maybe I shouldn't be connecting to this. That's an option too. Ace of Swords. You have a truth. And it's a hard truth. That this person's unique to you. They will always be unique to you. They'll always be part of your history. That can't be undone. For better or worse, it cannot be undone. But it's what you chose to do with them or not do with them from that point forward that you really started to bring the points of knowledge home. Okay? The Seven of Cups. Knights of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands. You started resisting the choice and options. Yeah, I know. At some point you stopped being open towards it. I know you thought there would never come a day because you had such unquestioning feeling towards this. And you didn't want to think about it. It's like you did. I didn't need to think about it. I know what I feel, and you did. I don't think you were emotionally lying to me. No. Spiritually, you knew what this was to you. To you. And how it ended up, reality is what we couldn't keep arguing with. It was a tight friendship at best that just... It's the happiest friendship ever. And that's not what you were feeling, no. Okay? But yeah, no, Ace of Swords, you had to learn, it's up to me to block this. And that was a hard truth. Otherwise, I'll just keep doing it. You're right. I think you're right. You know that about yourself. At least when it comes to this connection... I don't think you're a fool for love in the general sense. No, I just fall in love all the time. I don't think so. For this one, you did. It's like I'm not your everyday fool. I'm empowered. I wouldn't have done this unless it was important to me or special to me in some way. And it just, you're like, so now it's up to me. It's up to me to block this. It's up to me to act on what I know. I grew into this knowledge the hard way. I kicked my own ass. Thank you very much. Nine of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, and Seven of Cups. I resist being open to this. I resist it. I resist it. That's my truth, and I have to enforce it. Yeah, there's anger in there, there's frustration, largely because you seem to interpret this blocking as on you. You have to enforce it, otherwise you'll be the fool for it again. I understand that. I do. I really do. So what I want you to do is take that knowledge about yourself and acknowledge it as a strength instead of a weakness. Okay? In other words, allow yourself to heal over that. I opened up to this that strongly with that much conviction. That means I have to have the same level of strength of will and conviction to not remain open towards it. It's a testimony to your thoughts and your feelings and what you've learned. It doesn't discredit you. So give yourself that insight. Okay? In other words, that's the healing element for you I want you to incorporate. Not just a, this is what I got to do now, you know? All right. Four of Wands, Two of Swords, Eight of Cups. This is some sort of thing. This is some sort of relationship, yeah, but it confuses me, and I'm just going to be absent. Eight of Cups. I'm not saying they didn't feel something. They recognize this as some sort of relationship, but it lacks conviction. Emotional conviction. It's like a house of cards there. Here's the house. Here are the cards. Okay? It's a house of cards. It was going to fall down. Doesn't matter how much they called it a relationship. If someone's not present, they're not present. That's it. Four of Wands. Knight of Wands, the Chariot. Yes, I'm sure. Nine of Swords. Wow. That's almost like I'm moving in the... I'm moving in the direction of Scorpio against my will, but oh my gosh, it's so attractive. Even while they were moving towards you energetically, it stressed them out. Nine of Swords. So gosh, they felt something. It was a burst of energy that felt good, positive, sexy, passionate, filled with hope, movement. Oh my gosh, this is moving. This feels so good. It's exciting. But also, holy shit, what's going on? Nine of Swords. So I see the passion there. I see a sense of mutual connectivity about the intensity here and trying to meet it where it is. Yes, I see that. Check, check, check. But Nine of Swords, the worry and the fear of the mind was there from the very beginning about what was happening. Particularly, it seems that the speed for which they felt things in their connection to you. It happened so fast or so easily. Natural stuff. 4 of Wands, Chariot, 9 of Wands, that's natural stuff. It seemed to connect so easily, so quickly, and it freaked him out simultaneously. Two of Swords. It hit hard. They're showing me that they were interested, more than interested. There is pursuit there. Can't say there isn't. And there it is. 3 of Pentacles, the Magician, 5 of Cups, 2 of Swords. We couldn't get out of our head about what this was, so we kept calling it friendship because we lacked conviction of our feeling, and our mind kept talking us out of what we were experiencing. So what they felt towards you was very natural, very organic, and very swift. And when they realized how fast that was feeling towards you, it freaked them out. 9 of Swords, and it happens. 9 of Swords arrives in all shapes and sizes. It's just, it sucks when I see positive, 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 pro weakness. Okay? Well, that can be the first little dent. Fine. It's just a little dent. Okay? We can fix it pretty easily. No, let's make it worse. 2 of Swords. Let's stay confused on the subject about why I'm so naturally attracted to you and moving in your direction. And just say, you know what, friendship. Friendship. 5 of Cups, I regret this whole fucking thing. I regret this whole thing. I regret this whole thing. Friendship. Nope. 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 You know what I want for us? I want for us really good friendship, and that was the kiss of death right there. It's like, we're not friends, and you were right. You two are not friends. I saw how they approached you. I saw their energy towards you. And it was fast. That doesn't mean it's bad. That doesn't mean it's wrong. It just means it happened naturally. I don't know what you feel about passion and the Chariot. The intensity of one's emotional conviction was rushing energy. You don't want that to be forced. It should happen naturally. Okay? Then there's a fear. And again, 9 of Swords is different for everybody. Some people are a lot more equipped to handle it than others. And this one got lost to the fear. The fear sensation of falling too fast or falling at all. And it took over. It completely took over. Do you see that? Where it was like pursuing, hot, energy. It's here. I'm here, babe. Whew. 9 of Swords. And then look at this bullshit. You know what? We're friends. We're friends. A lot of regrets here. Lots of regrets. Lots of regrets. Can't get out of my head about that. But I want for us really good friendship. It's a little late to take all that energy back and try to wrap it up into a friendship. So like I said, honey, it takes 2. It takes 2. I see your part. I see their part. Yeah, but as soon as they kept... There was a point where... I don't know how long they called you two friends, but once they kept insisting on that word, it killed something in you. It killed something in you. It's like, I don't have these kind of feelings for a friend. And you don't. This was not an everyday occurrence for you. It's not. The way you reacted to this, no, that was not an everyday occurrence for you. This was not your everyday schmuck that you could meet at the bar. You know, this was not that. You know, you showed me 0 conflict. Page of Swords. Perhaps very little insight on your part. Yeah, okay. Maybe I could have hit you on that one. Scorpio, you gave this next to no thought. You were all feeling, no hesitation. But why would you need to do that when they were already doing it for the both of you? There you go. But I'm glad that you stopped, or you didn't indulge too, I don't know how long actually, in the friendship thing. It's like I said, every time you heard that label, you died a little bit inside, right? And I can see where they got really comfortable with that label. We're friends, we're friends. No, we fucking aren't. Keep calling us that, see what happens. 8 of Cups, but you did. You shut it down. And then you enforce it to this day. And I am sorry, but it's honest. Thank you for that. Justice, 6 of Swords, and the 4 of Pentacles. Well, that's neither here nor there. I feel like that's this whole person's gig, is flakiness, wish-washy bullshit. I'm justified, but I can't let it go. I'm not emotionally present, and I know that, but I want to hold on. I want to correct things, but it's not my place. I want to work things out, but I shouldn't have to. And this person talks themselves out of having any sort of responsibility. No wonder you feel like it's on you to block it and enforce it, because they're here today, gone tomorrow. Sometimes they step into the energy of I should do the right thing. And actually, no, I don't owe it anything. I don't feel too bad about it, but then again, I didn't allow myself to get emotionally involved, so why would I feel too bad about it? Yeah, there's nothing to work through. But they still hold on. Don't get me wrong, they're working on letting it go, but because there's a sense of side with themselves they haven't really given into, checked in with. It's mostly because we ignored all this back here. We talked ourselves out of it. It's kind of like, that didn't happen, so I don't have anything to work through. You know? Yeah, they do. They owe themselves. I'm not saying they necessarily owe you. You've come to terms with your shit. But they do owe themselves what actually happened here. And that's a big part of their particular dialogue that's missing. So, honey, if somebody lacks that much faith and conviction in what they're thinking and feeling, if they're that scared to have their thoughts and their feelings, then believe them when they tell you who they are. No, it was just friends. It was just friends. I didn't mean to approach you at all. But you did. You, for your part, you were very honest about it. You're like, oh yeah, I don't even question it. And that could probably be your biggest fault, is that you should have spent more time questioning it. But then again, you didn't need to. Somebody was doing it enough for the both of you. So much so that it completely changed the dynamic between, holy crap, I'm in this. Oh, I guess we're friends. No, we're just friends. We're friends. A lot of regrets in there. A lot of regrets. A lot of regrets. Well, it's almost like they're saying, I give up, or I'm going to let this one get away from me. I have to. I got to let him get away from me. And that way, it's almost like there's nothing I have to worry about, balance with, or apologize for if I just let this one get away from me. Well, it worked. It worked. If that was a plan, then it worked. All right, the lovers. It did. You shut it down. And here's what's fucked up. You're the one who enforced it. Not them. It's kind of like, if I just don't get emotionally attached, I have nothing to apologize for or worry about. So this is what I'll do. I'll call us friends until I believe it. Anyway, that's enough of that. Moving on. So yeah, I mean, like I said, you have, getting back to the main point here, you have plenty of evidence about why you had to shut this down. All right? You had to grow into it. You were the fool until you couldn't afford to be the fool with this one anymore. Okay? Being the fool can be quite costly, or it can be extremely liberating. And I'm sure at the time it was liberating until it became costly. Okay, the lovers. There's that Four of Wands, the Sun, Seven of Pentacles. They felt it too. They felt it too. Perhaps it was just so much at one time, because I can tell they're much more used to a leisurely stroll there with the Seven of Pentacles. But man, they felt the unhappiness unfolding with you. Yeah, let's take that strong connection with a growing sense of love and admiration and happiness, and just fuck it. That's fine. Again, I told you, honey, it takes two. So that's their side of the board. If you ever want to know if they ever felt a sense of happiness beyond the attraction, and yeah, they did. They did. It's just the happiest card in the deck, right? With the lovers. That means in theory we could have it all, but you know. When somebody says, I can't be there, I can't hang out emotionally, it feels too good, I don't trust her, it's moving too fast. I don't know what the reasons are. Believe them. I can tell you that was on a fucking dime. I'm moving swiftly towards this, and it feels amazing, and holy shit, oh my God, too. We're friends. We're friends. Please believe that we're friends. It was never anything other than friendship. Mm-hmm. At some point, it got real for them, too. And that was the difference. You chose what you chose, they chose what they chose, and that tells you the proof of choice, particularly where the Lovers is concerned, which it's been a while since you've heard me say, so let me tell you. In order for the Lovers to be successful, it has to be chosen many times. Not because it's easy, but because it's hard, and that's how you have a sustaining lover. Strong connection for a lifetime. You don't choose it when it's just easy, and it's easy summer love. Okay? You choose to be there emotionally, mentally, spiritually, etc. That's it. Alrighty. The Hanged Man. The both of you have had a lot of time to think about this. I wish they were a lot more embracing of their personal truth, and then they could stop struggling with it, but that's their journey, not yours. That's for them to work out, not for you to work out. You already have your side of the board, which is already more than enough of lessons and what you're doing to this day about that connection. And actually, not at all, but you're showing me I have to enforce what I know. And it sucks. Okay. 9 of Wands. Temperance. Good. 6 of Wands. Good. Good. You, for your part, 9 of Wands here twice with the Hanged Man. That healing element I told you to apply, that's exactly what you'll be doing. You're doing the right thing even though it hurts. So give yourself that credit. And I know there's times when you're angry and frustrated. It's like, if it weren't for me enforcing this ironically, me, the one who was so connected to this from the very beginning, I didn't even question it. It's ironic then, you're telling me, that I have to be the one to shove it away. Otherwise, they'd still be doing this with me. You're like, in what world, in what way, in what world is this fair? Well, what you did not question in the beginning, you have to question now, and for good reason. So that means you learned. So give yourself that healing, okay? Please. I know. It's like, if it weren't for me enforcing it, I would keep choosing this. But I'm glad you stopped. The friendship box didn't suit you. Imagine an ugly outfit from an otherwise well-known designer, and they asked you to wear it. So it's a contradiction. You love that label, and you hate the fucking outfit. It looks ugly on you. So you honored and respected that place in you. I'm not a friend. Stop calling me that. The World. Call me a lover or call me nothing at all. In fact, don't call. The World. Okay. Queen of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles, the Emperor. Yeah, I have to agree. That's the real essence of you right here with the Emperor. I know you thought you were enforcing your will in a way that made sense to you back here with the Fool, as discussed. I won't go over it again. But now you see that that was a matter of anti-worth. You're compromising yourself in this one. You know what your values are. I don't think you easily fall. I really don't. This one you didn't question, so then it's not so ironic to me that you're actually the one enforcing it. That was your particular lesson. Okay, but typically you understand that you operate from a space of self-worth, higher powers, empowerment. Whatever this represents, at the end of the day, don't you get tired of hearing those end of the day people, end of the day arguments, but at the end of the day, well, for you, this was the end of the day. At the end of the day, this was not a good use of empowerment for you, and it spoke to anti-worth. You accepting that friendship label, you would have continued to speak to self-worth. And saying, okay, I'm less than a lover. No. Okay? No, this was anti-worth. Okay. That's enough of that. So, like I said, I'm actually really happy now that I'm not saying another one of these vague, maybe they will, maybe they won't. I mean, it's been ongoing. And I think at this point, given what I've seen here today, even if it came back around, it would still be like, but we're friends, though. It's all cool when you start out as friends or you insist friendship first in any relationship you have. Cool, I respect that. That's not what this was. That's not how it started. Right? But we had a designer here who was very uncomfortable with their outfit, and they still asked you to wear it, even though it doesn't fit and it looked fuck ugly on you. Now, there you go, there's that. Damn. Damn. And giving your energy towards them, why would they dress you up so sadly? Chasing, shallow, oh, fuck me. I know. It might have felt like an empty chase. It got really intense there for a minute, but I know this. I know pursue when I see pursue. They were pursuing you. It was a shallow sort of chasing. You felt it. You were in it. Like for reals in it. It was a shallow sort of chase. Chasing. I'm like, oops, I shouldn't have done that. That one's the real deal. Oh. Okay. Abandoned. You walked away. Abandoned. Left out. Okay? I got it. Did it have a deeper meaning, context than just some chaser-runner dynamic bullshit and pursuing and... Oh, yeah. Is that why they freaked out and started calling you a friend? Uh-huh. But on the surface, yeah, it was felt intensely. Unexpected income, 27, opportunity, I don't know, gifts, abundance, I don't quite know, with a little bit of luck. Some of you in your work areas, energies, you might have a little bit of luck there, some extra income, despair. This one you felt like you had no luck, but in other areas of your life, perhaps you consider yourself quite lucky, studious. That's sort of woman. Compass, North Star. Your fortunes will change. At this one, you feel like you have no luck. For the most part, you feel like you operate pretty well under this idea of luck, or you make luck happen, or you tend to be prosperous, but not with this one. This one left you feeling in want and in despair. I understand that. But you're also someone who has seen the world. You know better. There will be other things for you to point your star at, your destiny. You are meant to reach for higher than this. You may not see it now, but this was a phenomenal lesson for you. And it put you in the position of reaching higher and seeing other things. I know you know better. Okay? I know you know better that you're meant to reach above and beyond this. But in this area, no. You weren't supposed to have luck in this area. I know. J, N, we have the medallion of you and Scorpio, the actual butterfly. And then the arrow of Sag. Cupid's arrow struck home, at least for you. But for now, you might have double, triple, quad Scorpio in your chart. Maybe some Sag. Of course, obviously, our season might be important to us. But I do want to let you know that while you are passionate, the butterfly came out in reverse. This was non-transformative. Didn't matter how much was felt or how much was denied was felt. It wasn't going to transform. It's okay. Like I said, it wasn't supposed to. It was not your destiny. Tree of Life, 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, your community's important to you. Your roots run deep. You got a lot of good things going for you. Solid stability. Okay? And don't forget that. Don't discount your own experiences and your own sense of self-worth. I know it's easier said than done when you're caught up in these very, very strong connections, and they make sense at the time, spiritually and emotionally. But with enough proof and enough evidence and enough exposure and experience, you start to see things for what they really are. Remember, it takes two. You saw what they were doing, you saw what they weren't doing. But above all, you saw how they started to generously apply that label, friend. At some point, that became the nail in the coffin. Okay? All right. I do hope this helped you. And once more, I'm glad to see that you know these things. Consider it a source of strength and how never to deviate from your sense of empowerment ever again, no matter how deeply attached to this you are. We should not throw ourselves under the bus by forsaking reality. I know you know better. I also know you don't fall easily. Yeah, when you show up hard. It's not a weakness, it's a strength. Okay, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well.